Hey, how's it going out there, folks? Gun Psychiatrist here. In this video, we're going to show you how to do a hole feature. One way to create a hole is to create a sketch and, of course, make a circle and then make the hole manually by doing a reverse extrusion into the existing 3D model. And that would make a hole, and then you could add threads and all that fun stuff. But if you're looking to make a hole with tapers, a counterbore, or threads, there's a lot easier way to do it. But we're going to go ahead and give this a shot. And we're going to start with Fusion 360 in a new design file. And we're going to go ahead and create a sketch. We're going to use the bottom plane. We are going to grab a rectangle and we're going to do a center point. And let's make it 12 by 6. Okay. And there's also one thing I want to show you. If there's features that you use a lot, like center point rectangles, you can come over here and go ahead and pin it to toolbar. That way it always shows up on there. So now that we got that done, we're going to go ahead and hit extrude. We're going to come up 3 inches. Now we're going to use our hole feature. So the hole feature, we can put a hole anywhere we want. And when we look over here at this screen, there's different parameters that we can control with the hole. So one reference is right here. So let's go 0.5. Okay, and then we're going to select this other reference, and we're going to do 0.5, okay? And then for the diameter, which is down here, we're going to select 0.25. Okay, it's going to go all the way through. Now, we can control the depth of this hole. If we don't want it to go 3.5 inches, we can go 1 inch. And you can see where it would stop. So let's just, for this hole, let's go all the way to 3 inches. And that's going to take us all the way to the bottom. Let's take this to 1 inch out. Let's take this to 1 inch out. And let's create this hole. Let's make this a 0.5 inch hole, which would be ½ inch. Now, if we want to do a countersink, okay, we can start the countersink right there, and this will control our countersink parameters. So we can say we want the countersink to be, let's say the screw we're going to use in the countersink is at the maximum diameter of the screw head, say that's 0.75. Okay? That'll control that. And then we can say it's a 60-degree screw angle. So we can do 60 degrees. Okay, and it'll change that all for us. Same thing with a counterbore. If we need to counterbore it and say our counterbore needs to be, say it's 0.75 counterbore, and we want to come down an 1/8 of an inch, 0.125. Now we have a 0.125 counterbore. So here we have an area that we can tap screws and stuff. Okay, so if we want to do a tap here, to use a taper tap, you'd have to have a tapered hole. So for the threads, we're going to come down here. This is a ½ inch hole. So we're going to go to ½ inch. We're going to model these threads because we want them to look accurate and real. Unified screw threads, ½ 20 UNF. So that's a fine thread, ½ inch 20. Let's drop this down to 0.25, ½ inch down, going all the way through. Sometimes when you're machining different parts, if you're not going to go all the way through, sometimes you might, but in this instance, we're only going 3 inches from the top to the bottom. So we're not all the way through because we have a ½ inch added on here. So if we were going to go all the way through, we just have to do 3.25 like that. And this will let us all the way through. Okay, so you see we're all the way through. Sometimes you're just going to use a end mill because an end mill is flat. It's just going to make a flat hole feature at the bottom of that hole. Then there's also a way when you tap threads, you can select there to be an offset. And so let's call this 1.5. Okay, what that's done is you can barely see it right there, but what that's done is ran threads down for 1.5 inches and then his left, the rest buried. And this is good for like any type of an indexing screw or set screw or something like that, to where you're going to have threads and it's just going to taper off into a smooth shank and go in a hole and maybe pin something else together. That's what you can also use this feature for. Or maybe you just don't want to run threads down that far because the fastener you're using is only maybe an inch long, but you need a 2-inch deep hole for certain reasons. So that's how all that works. But we're just going to go and run a tapped hole. We're going to tap it all the way through. We're going to go 3.75 to the bottom. So we have full threading all the way down. Let's go ahead and check that. There we go. All right. We're just going to hit OK. So now we have this feature in here. If we need to smooth this out or replace a small chamfer, because usually when you create a hole like this, you are going to get some metal that's going to splurge upward right there. So let's call that 0.0625. Okay. And there you go. So in this video, you saw how we use the hole feature and got a full explanation on all the different aspects of the hole feature, the different threads we can put in, the different bottoming shapes, whether we're going to do a taper or a flat shape if we're not going all the way through, how to make it go all the way through, and of course, different taper angles and all that fun stuff. So if you find these videos helpful at all, please do like and subscribe and leave those comments down below this video. And until next time, I'm the Gun Psychiatrist signing off. God bless America again.